Hi, this is DCO'S Witnessing Tips. Jesus said, I am the door. If anyone enters through me, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out and find pasture. At Doorway Christian Outreach, our prayer is that the materials that you find on this website are helpful in your witnessing to Jehovah's Witnesses and to Mormons. The witnessing tip that I would like to share with you today is one that I use quite often in my own preparation. It's a continuation of a series that I'm doing, and it comes from the acronym FIELD, F-I-E-L-D. Now we're going to be dealing with the L in FIELD, which stands for love. Love. So I'll recap a little bit, and then we'll get right to that. So John 4:35, Jesus said to his disciples, I tell you, open your eyes and look at the fields. And Jesus wasn't talking about land, he was talking about people. And that we are to care for people by preparing and planting seeds. And of course, the seed is the gospel of Jesus Christ. These are people who Jesus died for. He shed his blood for them. And we ought to prepare our hearts to share the message of the gospel with them. So the F in FIELD stood for first encounter. So we know that a Jehovah's Witness or Mormon will come knocking on our door. Do we have a tendency of shutting the door or pretending we're not home? Or are we prepared to talk with them? And now the most important preparation is that of the heart. Do we care for these people enough to prepare by studying Scripture and planting the seeds, which is the gospel? Are we prepared to share the gospel with them? So that starts with the heart. We need to love these people enough to study and to share with them. Now the I in FIELD stood for infantry. We need to be reminded about where our battle lies. It is not with the individual cultist. It is against the spiritual dark forces. It is against the enemy that has blinded their minds, their hearts, so that they would not receive the gospel. They would not understand the gospel and be saved. So they must never get the idea that we are out to get them, that we are for truth, that we love them, we care for them enough to share that truth with them. And that leads us to E, which is essentials. That when we're in dialogue with a cultist, that we must not allow ourselves to get sidetracked from the essential issues. That central theology is paramount. So arguing about issues that have no effect of the soul should be kept to a minimum. So our focus must be on the nature, the person, nature, and work of Jesus Christ, the message of his gospel for them. So this brings us to the L, which is love. Love. So when a cultist brings up a topic that we recognize as heretical, it may cause some angry emotions to surface. Now, our love for those involved in the cults should always supersede those emotions. Now, when Jesus spoke to the Samaritan woman at the well, she confronted him with a hot issue, that of worship. Now, being a Jewish rabbi, he would have had the right to rebuke her, but instead, he directed the conversation toward truth because Jesus loved her. Jesus loved her. So we also should love the cultist enough to pray for them and talk with them and read scripture with them and continue to pray for them again and again and again. So I encourage you to do this. Ask God to increase your love for these people.